Whee! Killing things. I actually killed this one time in 46 seconds. I was amazed. Won't be this time. Maybe this time. Nope, I forgot to crouch. But 50 seconds, not bad. So what am I doing here? Let me do it once more and I'll try to crouch this time. Yay. I was like, oh shit, I forgot to start streaming. So I clicked over there really fast after I hit the button. So then I forgot to crouch. So what I'm doing is I have follow through and taking one for the team. As far as legendary effects, I'm not using VATS at all for the second phase. I'm just doing hip fire. I do need to crunch some things. Sorry about that. This is just a watch me test this. I've been testing it for a couple hours now. So you can watch me keep testing. Maybe there'll be something interesting that you'll see. Because it's free for you to watch this. Maybe I'll clip out a little bit that's really lovely.
Tried any new foods lately? Hello?
Boy, they do stack up fast in this place. So I'm doing a full health build, basically. And the first weapon is just like the video that was posted to Glass Gaming. It's furious, crippling, and it's basically just there to take the shield down. What I did change was the second gun greatly. And it seems to be working shockingly well. Maybe I'll get to highlight this here. Second weapon, let's reload that. I will show you what I'm doing here in a moment.
Evacuation is in progress.
You can see all the buffs that I have. I wanted to basically make sure I had all the proper mutations. And so I just took all the serums. That way I could also get rid of the effects. I do have Class Freak in there, even though I don't need to. But you can see what my build is here. I've removed a lot of things from luck. You know, moved things around. That's it right there. You can take a screenshot.
Alert. Unauthorized personnel.
So I'm coming over here and I'm a sneak.
Activating defense systems.
I will get hit, even in sneaks. And that's important because that activates taking one for the team. Very, very noisy room. So taking one for the team has been activated as I'm being hit. Now immediately I exit VATS and I swap to this second weapon as fast as possible. And it's not doing it. It did it the last time. See, I'm in danger. Follow through doesn't activate if you're in danger. Here I'm in caution, but now it's too late for it to activate. The big numbers. Okay, so there we go. 50 seconds again, and 200 minus 64 rounds, which is not bad. So let me go show you what I'm doing here. I did a run in 46 seconds right before that because I was in caution, not in danger, for like the first 10 seconds. I was doing upwards of 800. I was seeing 700 something, 800 something for the first 10 seconds before taking one for the team dropped off. And it was just like the bar went really fast for that first 10 seconds. Now the reason it's doing that, this weapon looks like this. Quad rapid strength. I could put intelligence on there. Might not make any difference. Polished. so up to 60% extra damage. Hex plasma standard sights, not gunner, because I want higher AP cost. If I put gunner on that, it would be like half that, so I don't want that. I did try the laser laser magazine, just nowhere near as good. Plasma magazine is the way to go. I didn't even bother with anything but the hex barrel because that's really the way to go. But the idea is that you swap to this weapon as fast as you can once the shield is down, like even right before the shield is down, because you know a couple more ricochets are going to take it. And then so you start firing that immediately from stealth, hopefully from caution, not danger. And then for the first 10 seconds, as soon as you get hit the last time, you have taking one for the team, which is a 40% multiplicative buff on your damage. So I put rapid on there to fire as many things as I can during that 10 seconds. And it does make a difference. So let's try this again.
Hi there.
Let's see if I can get some really big numbers here and do it in maybe even 45 seconds. Most of the buffs I have going right now, like the food buffs, aren't going to really add all that much. Like I was doing a bunch of testing. Let me pull my document up here. You can see my testing down here. I was like, pipe means I'm standing on the pipe. Console means I'm standing behind the railing next to the console. You can see that that's terrible because you're out of close range. But I was doing, these were the effects. So I did 2 or 3 of each one just to sort of get a feel for it. This one was pretty good. Polished is a really good thing. The problem is you got to keep it up above like 180% repaired, otherwise the damage starts to go down. I forget exactly what it is. But I've been moving the build around just a little bit. Bullies was meh. Conductors, meh. But polished, I mean, conductors is good because you can heal yourself. And that's nice if you're doing sort of like a nerd rage build, which I was for a while. But you can see it does take a little bit longer. I go through more ammo. This is the number of ammo used. This is the number of ammo used calculated based upon what I had left. So let me move these down a little bit. I was trying to keep a record of what I was doing here. But when I added follow through, my time, I went down to 46 seconds on that last time before I popped over on the video. So that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh, I got to show this. This is kind of cool. I'm hoping to capture it like on stream so I can say, look, look, look.
This is an automated message. Evacuation is in progress.
But you do have to keep your second weapon very well repaired, which you can do pretty easily now that they've fixed the repairability so that you can bring it back to 200% at any time if you have the right perks. You know, what is it? Fix It Good or Weapon Master or whatever it's called. Make sure these are reloaded. Make sure I'm in sneak. Make sure I'm near the end of the pipe. So I'm very close. Honestly, that doesn't really matter with this. I'm just sort of helping Ricochet do some damage. It would just take a little bit longer with Ricochet. Okay, so I swap, get out of VATS, start firing. There we go. Set 698, 699, 700, 701. That's Tormentor. Or, yeah, increasing. Okay, now take one for the team dropped off, and there. It's dead. 47 seconds. Not bad. I used 107 bullets for that, for the second phase. So let me write that down. 47 seconds. Down to 93. So there we go. Right there. Fascinating. Okay, I'm ready to post this. Now you can see what I'm doing. I'll go through and show everything again. That way we have like one last little snapshot. Again, you don't have to do any buffs. Honestly, you don't even, as long as you have Class Freak in there. I was doing most of that with no buffs, right? If you look at everything from up here, this was all no buffs. Even, well, I added Psycho buff to like cut 1 or 2 seconds off here. Didn't do much. Here I did full buffs, but you can see it's like, doesn't really do all that much. It's like a placebo effect. Now, taking all the serums, again, just basically sliced a little bit off the top of like the negative effects, but I was already using Class Freak, right? So that's most of the negative effects gone. So maybe like a +1 strength here, +1 agility there, +1 int there, you know, like with Marsupial, for example. Berry Mentats, I'm just doing that to test to see if, you know, adding int does much. Doesn't really do much. But these are my current, this is my current status. So you can see, you know, my ballistic resistance, energy resistance, radiation resistance. These are the effects I'm using. So there's those. Obviously, serum effects. Company T, I finally just doesn't really, it's not really necessary. I just decided when I took all the other food, or just recently, I'm like, okay, I'll take that. Now I do have +int there. I did try the multivore or megavore trick where, you know, you can take both serums and now you get like really good HP, really good, well, now you can use either, you know, food or whatever, but there's a few of them that give like really good buffs. But here's all the effects I have going. And then my special, those are my specials. So, and then my armor looks like this. Ignore the name. I've put intelligence on all these just for the XP. And the through hikers is there for my own quality of life. You could put sentinels on there if you wanted to. But, okay, so let me go through these slowly. Chest, I'm using medic pump. To me, that's very important. Helm, that's internal database, that's just extra intelligence. What is that? Left arm. It's basically troubleshooter rangers with my own little things thrown in there, right? I'm also doing, I also put gimbal on there for hipfire accuracy and scoped accuracy. So I've got an extra 30% hipfire accuracy. So that's because I'm just sort of pointing right at it, right? So I don't have too much of a weird, whatever you want to call it. But this is, I removed some cards that were being used because I didn't really need it, right? Like I don't need, what was the one that was being used?
I need to visit Flatwoods.
I don't need Love the Spread. Just don't need it because I'm already close enough. Basically, I also wanted to make sure I could do this without sharing cards from my alt. So she's over here, right? And they're grouped. So at least he gets, you know, being, you know, the group buff for the raid weapon damage reduction, which is important since I'm doing polished, right? You don't want that to come down very quickly. But she's not sharing any cards. I wanted to try it without that. Now, if I shared some stuff from her, I would do a better job. Like if I took off Master Heavy Gunner and I changed this to, well, maybe not that. If I went to her account right now and I shared, let's see, let's go to Heavy Gunner, rank 3, right? And then I went to her account, or my other account, and put on, let's see, Master Heavy Gunner. Where are you, Master Heavy Gunner? Did I buy you? Oh, she has Heavy Gunner, not Master Heavy Gunner. Oh, 9 points of charisma. Fine, fine, fine. She's not in her support build. Let me go to the support build. There we go. Now she has enough points. Now I can go no pack rat, no portable power. I can go Heavy Gunner, share that, right? Then I can pull this off and go Master Heavy Gunner, right? Master Heavy Gunner.
Swamp tofu?
Yeah. Now he has the effects of Heavy Gunner 20%, Heavy Gunner Expert, and Heavy Gunner Master, right? 20, 15, 20. So, but that's not really all that critical. As you'll see, it doesn't really affect all that much. It seems like all these little additive effects are nice, and if you can add a bunch of them, that's good. But the multiplicative effects, like these legendary perks up here, which are multiplicative, like this one's multiplicative, this one's multiplicative. If you can get both of those kicking in at the same time, it's amazing. Obviously, you know, we want limb damage, ricochet for phase 1. I'm using as many of these as I can do, including this one for close, you know, damage to close enemies. I did pull Nerd Rage off because I'm not in Nerd Rage range, or rather, I'm not below 100% health most of the
Try any
time.
new foods lately?
Sadly, this one just takes too long to really ramp up well, but you still get a good result. Let's try this again and see if I can get into a good groove. Yeah, my goal was to try to get it below 50 seconds or even approach 45 seconds. And so I'm pleased that I actually got there. But it is sort of touch and go because it doesn't always, like follow through doesn't always kick in, right? Because you can't always get into stealth when you're in that second phase. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. It just depends on RNG with the boss. Let me get some shotgun shells back in here. And this first weapon is...
Evacuation is
First weapon looks like this.
Please proceed to the
Pretty
nearest
much just
exit
like
in an orderly manner.
the one in the video, right? So it's a VATS weapon, largely with crippling, because I am in VATS when I use it. Second weapon is not a VATS weapon. Oh, we just got a weather warning. Cool. I have one of those weather radios that goes doo 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 doo. If there's an alert in your area and you have to set it up, you know, so that it knows where you live. What county do you live in? You have to like select the thing. So let's try this one last time. See if I get lucky. Again, watching that top red bar, trying to get that to go down, and as soon as it gets low, I'm going to swap, and lost a few seconds there. 800, 700, 695, 696. Good numbers. 800, 699. 10 seconds has passed. 48 seconds. And that's because I sort of had a couple seconds there before, as I was ending the first phase, where I should have just kept shooting, right, to make it go to the second phase right away, but there you go. Anyway, 48 seconds, that's pretty damn good to me. Good luck.